This property used to be an avocado grove. I changed it into a longan tree grove. About 10 or 12 varieties of jackfruit.
Wow.
This is a lychee tree. This is pitomba. We have about 6 varieties of mamey. This is the other hog plum. Remember what I was telling you about the flowers? That one is red, so the flowers are red. This one is yellow, so the flowers are yellow. This is the star fruit. We have like 10 varieties of sapodilla. This is the custard apple. We get easily 100 to 200 of these custard apples in this tree. We sell 1 gallon, 3 gallons, and 7 gallons. That's a very exotic passion fruit. It's called banana passion fruit. These are the atemoyas, right? Miracle fruit is propagated in 2 ways, by seeds and by cuttings.
Do you sell wholesale and retail or just retail?
Mostly retail.
Okay.
Mostly retail, although we have a few wholesale customers.
Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees. Here we are today with Noah and with at his farm, Everglades Farm. And we are in Homestead, Florida. And we are gonna look around. Thanks for coming on the show, man. We're gonna look around today and see his farm and see everything they're growing and what they're doing. And Noah's from Nicaragua, right?
Yes.
And he grew up doing this and now he's sharing the fruit. That's his main message today, that was starting off and ended up with is sharing the fruit, right?
Yes.
All right. So everybody, we're gonna have a great time today on this farm. I love to visit these places, so here we go. All right, everybody, here we are. This is Noah, and here we are. It's called Everglades.
Everglades Farm Nursery.
Everglades Farm Nursery. How long have you been here?
I have been in this property for 6 years.
And how big is the property?
It's 5 acres.
Okay. So when you were growing up, were you into growing fruit trees, or is this something that happened later in life?
My grandfather in Nicaragua had a small farm similar to this property, and he had about 700 different types of fruit trees. So I grew up climbing those fruit trees and falling from the fruit trees, and then later on in life, as I moved to this property, I said, well, let me do a little bit something of what I used to do as a child and share the fruit with other people, because I think when you grow tropical fruits, part of at least for myself, I like to share with other people, because a lot of people have never been exposed to some of the fruits.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting for me to do.
That's exciting. So did you actually grow up in Nicaragua?
I grew up in Nicaragua and came here when I was 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit is mango.
Mango. What's your favorite mango?
My favorite mango is the Nandog May or Nandog Mai.
Nandog Mai.
Yeah,
okay.
That one is my favorite. Yeah.
Okay. And do you? How many different varieties of mangoes do you sell here? Mango trees.
Yes, we have close to 100 different varieties for sale here.
Wow.
Yes.
And you have other different fruit trees as well.
We have another 400 different types of fruit trees here, including bananas, guavas, star fruits, and a lot of exotic fruits like the jabuticabas from Brazil. Well, yeah, we have quite a bit of.
Besides the trees that you sell, do you have trees in the ground that you get fruit for your own personal use?
Yes, we do. They're on the back, and I can show you if you want.
Yeah, we'd love to see the trees and talk a little bit about your property here. And so you've been at this location for how many years?
I've been here for the nursery. We've had it for 7 years. But in the property, I've been here for since 2012.
Okay.
Originally, this property used to be an avocado grove, and over time I changed it into a longan tree grove, which is still part of the property. Is still that, but 7 years ago when we started the nursery. Well, we have been transforming the property slowly.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, just show us around. And here I see some different mangoes in the ground here. So from the time this was an avocado farm to now, did you remove a lot of trees or not really? Or?
Yes, we had to remove when I got here. Well, at the beginning I had no plans to remove anything. My plan was to continue to take care of the trees, but those trees were too old. they were, 30, 40 years old, and they weren't doing much really. They weren't producing much. So I removed around 350 trees.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So yeah,
Wow.
it was a lot of work. It was quite a project actually. It took about, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months to do that, to remove everything and install the new irrigation. It's a lot of work. Wow. And so here are the trees that I planted. And
so you planted this whole row of trees?
Yeah, the whole row. Yeah, before it was a nursery. I planted this to try to replicate what I
grew up with.
Yeah, what I grew up with. And if you want, we can start. We can start from the beginning. The very first tree over there is a tamarind tree.
Sweet tamarind?
Yes, sweet tamarind.
Sweet tamarind.
Sweet tamarind. Yes.
Okay, and when you plant these trees here, do you have a goal of how far you plant from one another, or you just plant whatever looks good to you?
As far as the spacing?
Yeah.
Well, when you plant fruit trees, and if you have the space, right? Ideally is to leave 20 feet radius, so that the tree can grow. So there's plenty of space for the tree. So the spacing between the trees, fruit trees, is ideally should be 20 feet.
Okay.
Okay, 20 feet apart. So the first tree is a sweet tamarind tree that was already in the property. You can see how the roots are exposed.
Yeah. Because
we've had several hurricanes come through here. And so, but this tree is very old. It was already here when I got here. But you can see how the roots are exposed, because when the hurricane winds hit it, it does that, But
yeah.
It survived the last hurricane.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, that's why, you see the roots exposed. This is sugar apple, green sugar apple. Right now it's, you know how they change leaves every year. So it's beginning to get its new leaves. This is the green sugar apple. It produces a lot of fruit, this tree.
Is it self-pollinating, or do you have to hand pollinate it?
No, they self-pollinate. This is they self-pollinate. Yeah, this tree produces a lot of fruit. A lot.
Is it a particular variety?
It's the green sugar apple.
The green sugar
There's
apple.
green, and there are many varieties, but the most common ones are the green and the red. But it's a unassuming tree, but it produces a lot of fruit.
Wow.
A lot of fruit. Yeah. This is a longan kohala, which is our longan trees that are still in this property. They're longan kohalas.
So you ship wholesale and retail longans?
Yeah, we don't actually do it. We hire someone to take care of the grove.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the grove is mostly longan trees?
It is only longan trees.
Only longan trees.
Yeah, only longan trees, yeah.
Are these 20 feet apart as well?
They are 20 feet apart, yeah. And actually the roads is even more.
Uh-huh.
For whatever reason, we left more space.
Yeah.
So it's like 30 feet apart.
And how often do you trim these every year after the season?
They're supposed to get trimmed like every other year. They're supposed to get trimmed like every other year.
Okay.
Because you're supposed to allow for the sun to to come in, because the more sun you get, the more fruit
Yeah.
the tree will produce.
All right, so that's a longan, and what's that?
This one is the hog plum.
Hog plum, yeah.
In English, in Spanish, is jocote. Hog plum, and this one is the red one, the red hog plum.
Okay.
And there are two types. Well, there are many types, but the most popular ones is the red hog plum and the yellow one. But it's interesting because you can tell them apart, because the red one, the flower is red. Yeah. So,
And the yellow one, the flower is yellow?
yeah, the other one is yellow.
So the flower and fruit is yellow, and on this one, the flower and fruit is red.
Yeah, but this one is red. Yeah, so very interesting. Like all these trees have their own little thing going, right?
Yeah.
So this is the red hog plum. This is the oh look, we have a macadamia here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A small one.
Small one, yeah. That was macadamia. This is the jackfruit. This is the Dang Racimi variety that is considered dwarf.
What's the name of it?
Dang Racimi
Okay.
variety. It's considered dwarf because the tree likes to grow to the sides and not up.
Okay.
So they consider it dwarf.
Is it a harder one or a softer one?
The fruit,
Yeah,
it's soft.
it is.
It's soft, yes. And you can see right here, this tree is also a heavy producer. Like you can see the fruit already for this year. Is
it easy peel or is it tough to peel?
When it's ripe, it's easy. Well, you know, the jackfruit in general, you know, you have to be careful because the fruit has latex.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have to be careful when you peel it. But it is soft. It's just that it has a lot of latex.
Sure.
So you have to be careful about that when you peel it. And so you can see this tree is all these are flowers, you know, fruits. It's like everywhere. It's going to produce like at least 30, 40, 50 fruits.
What do you do with the fruit?
Some of it we use it for seedlings, for seeds, and then the other ones we sell them. We sell them, and
so with the seeds, do you like is jackfruit true to seed?
No, the jackfruit. The jackfruit. When you buy a jackfruit tree, it should be a grafted tree.
Okay.
Because if a grafted tree is a clone of a mature tree.
Sure.
And so it's a tree that, although it is small, it is ready to bloom, just because it's a clone. And so this tree, if you were to grow it from seeds, you would have to wait 7 to 8 years to get fruit. It's too long. Especially here, right?
So after a graft, how long do you wait?
A grafted tree would produce in about 2 years. It really blooms right away, but the trees are too small.
Are all of the trees you sell here grafted?
Well, it's okay. This is how that works. Some trees, there are 4 propagation methods, right? For the type of trees that we sell. And so some trees are grafted, like avocados and mangoes. Other trees are from what we call air layer, which is they grow from the branch from another tree. Typically, the lychees, the longans, the guavas, those are layer. And then you have trees from seeds that are going to produce very quickly within a year or 2, so you don't need to graft them.
Sure.
Like the sugar apple that I just showed you. And then, so those are the trees from seeds. And then you have trees that you can propagate from cuttings, like the hog plum. That's from cuttings.
Okay.
So it depends on not all our trees are grafted because they don't have to be. It depends on the propagation method that is best suited for that particular tree.
Sure.
Yeah. But however, we do our best to propagate so that the customer, can get the fruit as soon as possible.
Sure.
Because that's the idea.
And did you grow up grafting trees where you learned how to do that?
No, I wish. I wish. But we have people here to do it.
Oh, so people here do it. So the trees that you have for sale are grafted here on the farm, or are they bought at another nursery?
We graft here in-house, but we also buy trees from other growers.
That they grafted.
Right.
Got you.
We don't have all the varieties here that we sell. We sell more than 500 varieties, so we don't have them all.
Sure.
but we have a lot of them, so we do those here in-house.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, so that's jackfruit.
This is jackfruit, yes. And so, see how these tree. Oh yeah, this is something else. See, these trees have so much fruit, right? And flowers, but that's because they are fertilized 3 to 4 times a year. So that's important with fruit trees. They need the fertilizer. They will produce fruit, but if you fertilize, they will produce 3, 4 times more fruit.
Interesting.
Yeah, if they have fertilizer. So what you see here, they're heavy producers, all of them. Well, they're fertilized a lot, you know. Yeah.
How many varieties of jackfruit do you sell here?
Jackfruit, we have about 10 or 12 varieties of jackfruit.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a lychee tree. Lychee. It's a lychee.
Okay. How do you do with the mite out here?
So everyone, if you have a lychee tree, you have the lychee mite. There's no. It's just everywhere, right? Like this tree has it, right? We see.
Yeah.
I just saw it right here.
Yeah.
Not as bad. It's beginning. So what we do is now we have to now remove carefully all the leaves that have that. Have to remove them. Put them in a garbage bag and then burn them or dispose them. And apply a treatment of sulfur and miticide every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. But if you do that, the tree is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine. That's how you treat it. You know?
Okay.
It's fine. Yeah, but the key is to remove the disease.
Do the longans get the mite or just the
No, the
lychees?
longans don't get it. Only the lychees.
Only the
get it.
lychees.
Yeah, but I mean, it's you can keep them healthy like that, you know.
Okay.
But it's just that it's a constant thing. You have to keep doing that. You have to
Sure.
keep doing that. You know, you have to keep doing that. So Francisco now has more work.
More work.
Yeah, this is pitomba.
Pitomba, okay.
Yeah. This is the mighty Nandok Mai mango,
Namdak Mai.
Yeah.
Okay.
which is considered a dwarf because it likes to grow to the sides.
And your favorite, yeah?
Huh?
Your favorite?
My favorite too. Have you tried it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes sometimes it's necessary to thin the flowers because it's too many flowers. We don't do it though, but because we don't really sell fruit.
Okay. Oh, you
But
don't
if we
sell-
were selling the fruit, we would probably thin the flowers. Yeah, this is I think this is a Namwa banana.
Namwa banana?
It's Namwa.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the Key West mamey.
Okay.
Yeah. Key West, it's a smaller fruit versus the other one, the Magaña. But the flavor is different. It's like a little,
What about the season?
The season, yeah, good question. The Magañas, because I would say the season it's the summertime is the season. However, the fruit takes so long. The cycle of the fruit is so long that maybe the cycle, I think, I don't know, it could easily be 8 months, 10 months. Like this little fruit
Yeah.
won't be ready until like 4 more months.
Wow.
Yeah, and how do you know when it's ready? You have to come, scratch the skin, right? If it's green, it's not ready. If it's turning a little yellowish, then it's ready. And so if you grow this for the fruit for business, it's just a lot of work. Because now you have to send someone to scratch every little piece
Yeah.
to see if it's ready.
Wow.
So yeah, but I mean, it's It's one of the most popular fruit trees here.
And how many varieties of this do you have for sale?
We have about 6 varieties of mamey. Yeah, and this is the Key West. See how it's heavily flowering, like super heavy. It's extremely heavy. That's everywhere. All the branches are like that. That's because of the fertilizing. You know, you fertilize the tree, it does that. Yeah. This is the other hog plum. Remember what I was telling you about the flowers? That one is red, so the flowers are red. This one is yellow, so the flowers are yellow.
Yeah. Is there any taste difference between the red and the yellow?
To me, they taste the same. To me, they taste the same.
They just lose their leaves in the winter?
Yes, they do. Yes.
Okay.
There is deciduous, I think is the word. For that. This is the type of tree that loses all its leaves in the winter, and now it's beginning to get them back.
Okay.
Yeah. This is another lychee tree. I think this is a sweetheart.
Okay, another variety of lychee.
Yeah, another variety. This is the famous Malayan coconut dwarf, because you can see it's you can pick your own coconut.
How old is this tree?
This tree has been here for 3 years on the ground.
3 years, so you bought it as a dwarf?
Yes, we sell them.
Oh, you sell them?
Yeah, we sell them. We sell the coconut.
The dwarf ones?
Right, the dwarf ones, yes. So this is...
And how long before that'll take to get tall?
Yeah, they grow very slow, so I guess this can grow taller, right? But it'll take another 15-20 years to reach.
So for 15 to 20 years, you'll be able to get them yourself?
No, probably by then, no. They'll be a little taller, another maybe 6-7 feet. Yeah.
But they just grow slower than regular coconut.
Exactly, yeah. They call dwarf because they grow slower than the other varieties. So, yeah. This is the Malayan. See, you see how it's producing it's so much fruit, right?
Yeah.
It's because of the fertilizing.
Oh, okay. What do you use for fertilizer?
We use a granular fertilizer, 839, which is nitrogen, potassium, and NPK. What is the other one? It's nitrogen, potassium, and forgot what the other one is. NPK 839. Yeah. This is a guava tree. It's not doing so good.
Another coconut?
Yeah, this is the green one. There's a yellow and green.
Is that a dwarf too?
Dwarf too. See, it's already blooming.
Wow.
Yeah. It's already blooming. This is the star fruit. This is the carry variety, which is the most popular one because it's sweet, or I should say the sweetest.
And the trees, you say, are 20 feet apart?
Yeah, well, here they're not. They're less.
Okay.
They're like 15 feet apart.
Okay.
But
another
that's
coconut, and then what's that?
This is another lychee.
Another lychee?
Yeah. See how it's heavily flowering?
Yeah.
Again, because of the fertilizer. Yeah. Oh wow! I've never seen that lychee with so many flowers.
So many. Wow. Oof. When will they be ready?
They will be ready probably in July. The fruit.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
Sapodilla.
Sapodilla, thank you. Yes. Sapodilla, yes.
Alano, yeah?
Yes. Alano, probably.
Oh, look at that. Look at that tree.
Huh?
A lot of branches on the tree.
Yeah, because
How old is this tree?
This tree, I planted it, and so this tree is like 10 years old. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, look, this is our friend.
Oh.
This is brown face. Yeah.
Hi, cat.
It's not our cat, but he
Hangs out here.
he hangs out here, yeah, and he likes to get in between your legs. So, but it's not our cat. But he's been here for
How many varieties of sapodilla do you have?
We have like 10 varieties of sapodillas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, you see how these trees all branched out,
Yeah.
like out of control branched out, right?
Yeah.
Because what happened is that 7 years ago, when the last hurricane came through here, this tree was already here, and it got knocked down to the side, and so we straightened it up a little bit and cut the broken piece of the tree. And so that's why it grew up so weird.
Oh, wow.
Because it's hurricane. The hurricane forced us to cut it like
Sure.
that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. This is a custard apple.
Custard apple. Here
Yeah.
it is. The red custard apple?
Red custard apple. Yes.
Is this a San Pablo?
And I'm not sure if this is a San Pablo. We call it red custard apple, but
Okay. Oh, look at
probably
that. Wow. Look how big they are.
Yeah. They get bigger though. A lot
Now, are
bigger.
these self-pollinating?
They're self-pollinate, yes.
And how are these to grow? Are they pretty easy or challenging?
They're very easy to grow. Yeah, I planted this tree 10 years ago.
10 years.
Yeah, same story. The hurricane came, and see, this one we couldn't really get it straight. So that's why you see the main trunk is to the it's really on the ground. I mean, it's like tilted.
Yeah.
Because since the hurricane from 6-7 years ago,
And how much fruit do you get off a tree this size?
we get easily 100 to 200 of this custard apples from this tree.
Wow.
Easy, yeah.
Do you have to bag the fruit? Do you
No custard apples. No, that's the guava.
get the guava? Okay.
Yeah, that's the guava, but not the custard apple.
Wow. And do you cut the tree back or does it stay small?
No, it grows, but we trim all our trees.
Every year? Every couple of years?
Like every year, we trim the top and the sides to keep them manageable. Yeah, we trim them. We trim them.
What's the season for the red custard apple?
The red custard apple, this fruit will be ready in June or July. Yeah, because right now it's not ready. It's not ripe. They have to get bigger. They have to get a lot bigger.
See,
Yeah, and then they get soft. The shell gets soft, and that's how you know the fruit is ready. But this has a long way to go. This has like another 2 months. Yeah. Yeah. So those are the trees that we have.
Okay, so it's
ground.
surrounding your whole property. The trees are surrounding your whole property.
Yes, we have some. We have some here on this side. Some bananas.
And what is this, your mulch that you use?
Right. This is the mulch we use. Yeah.
Okay. Is that in-house or does somebody drop it off?
No, someone drops it off.
Okay.
Yeah, a big truck comes in, because that's like a special mix we use.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
You got all these different bananas.
Different bananas. Yeah. Look, there's yeah, it's just
What kind of banana is that?
I think this is a. I think this is either Namwa or what are the small ones, or the one?
Sure. I'll try one.
But Francisco was telling me that they're small because well, they don't get enough water here.
Oh, I see. You don't have water on them.
No, I don't think so. No, on those. These are some of our mango trees.
What do you do with the mangoes? Do you use them for seed?
No, we don't use it for seeds. We use this to graft. For grafting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you graft the mangoes.
Right. Yeah.
What is your neighbor growing on the other side of the fence?
He's growing longans on the side, and then in the middle of the property he has mamey.
Okay.
Magaña mamey, the big fruit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that a farm over there?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That's a farm. See all the magañas.
Yeah.
Large fruit.
Yeah. Wow.
Huge. The magañas.
Wow.
Because they grow, commercial growers prefer that. The large fruit, it's easier to sell because you sell by the pound. So
Yeah.
the larger the fruit,
The more money you make.
the more money you make. Yeah, the more money you make.
And here's everything that you do here, all your trees.
Yes.
So are these all seedlings?
These are seedlings. This is the turpentine mango. We bring these seeds from a farm in California. They're growing these mangoes in the desert, the seeds, just called turpentine or mango criollo in Spanish. And we buy the seeds from California. And in a few months, we will graft different varieties into this tree.
Okay.
These trees. Yeah, these seedlings, actually. Yeah. So, yep.
So a lot of people keep these under a cover. You keep them outside all the time, or you switch off?
Yeah, you put them under the cover after you graft them.
After you graft
Yeah.
them.
Right now they're just seedling outside.
So when you get these, you just get the seeds from California, or you get the whole plant like this from California?
No, just seeds, just the seeds.
Just the seeds, and then you plant the seeds.
Then we plant them here. Yeah.
Okay.
And right. Only the seeds. They ship only the seeds. Yeah.
And these are some bigger mango trees?
The bigger mango trees. Yeah.
Okay.
And those are the other mango varieties that we have that we use to graft. Look, that's a moringa tree.
Yeah, moringa is wonderful.
Yeah, but they grow very fast. They grow super fast. And last year there was a storm that hit the Tampa area. We got a little bit of wind, and so it knocked half of that tree. It knocked it down, half of that tree, of the moringa tree. But it's growing back up. Yeah. So this nursery work, you see how these trees, you see the weeds? All right.
Yeah.
So imagine we have about 20,000 pots here, trees, right? And so imagine we have to remove these weeds for 20,000 pots, like every 2 weeks. So we have people that we hire and come to do just that. And we have to remove the weeds. Every 3 to 4 months, we have to put the granular fertilizer on each pot. And sometimes, depending on the type of tree, we have to apply special treatments, like a fungicide or iron.
Sure.
So nursery work is a lot of fun work, and you have to be like a plant doctor, and some issues that affect the mango trees don't affect the avocado trees, and like that. So after a while, you get very familiar with the trees. What's wrong with the tree? What can we do? Does the tree need more fertilizer or more iron or more sun or more water? It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. Because actually the trees are very smart, They're very, very smart. They know when to conserve energy. They know when it's time to use up all the energy. They're very smart,
What size pot are those?
These are 3 gallons.
3 gallons.
Yes.
And what size do you grow? I sell here.
We sell 1 gallon, 3 gallons, and 7 gallons.
Okay.
And a few 15 gallons. But
what size is this?
This one is, I think that one is like a 25 gallon.
25. Do you sell 25 also?
Yeah. We don't sell those. Those are for grafting purposes.
Okay, so the biggest ones you sell are 15 gallons.
Correct. 15 gallons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And besides mango trees, you have other things as well.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the mangoes area.
Yeah.
But I'll take you to another area over there.
Yeah, and you got all these trees here. And
Yeah.
very nice. You have any seedling mangoes that you named yourself?
No, I'm not that famous.
Not that famous.
I'm sure you know our friends at Lara Farms, right?
Yes, I know very well.
They do because which I never met the gentleman.
Yeah, Julian, he's wonderful.
No,
yeah.
but his father.
His father was amazing with the mames.
Exactly, who passed away. He's he has some fruits named after him.
Yeah.
With what a great honor.
Laurel fruits,
But I understand he was a horticulturist, famous horticulturist, and did a lot of work with UF.
Yes.
So yeah.
They have the Laura, everything, avocados, star apples.
After the father's name. So it's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. I never had the chance to meet him, so unfortunately. But yeah, I know who he is, and I know Julian a little bit.
They're still doing great work there.
Yeah, yes. They have a lot of very exotic, hard to find varieties.
They do.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all the trees on the perimeter are different varieties, the ones that are potted.
Yeah. That
we use to graft. That's where, like this is the Russell avocado, the long neck avocado.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, this one right here. Yeah.
So you grow bananas between your trees?
Yeah, but most of our bananas we propagate from tissue culture.
Oh, you do?
They come from liners that come from a laboratory. Yeah, but we do have a few in the field. But it's just a lot of work to propagate from the field. The bananas. Yeah. Look, that's supposed to be the Hawaiian papaya.
Yeah.
I don't know if you tried the fruit.
In Hawaii, I did.
Yeah, I tried it too, and it tastes like mango, right?
It's good if you get it to grow, but it's a lot of bugs and stuff.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true.
Wow, that's great.
So that's the Hawaiian papaya. I don't know if it's true. If the variety remains true here, because I tried it the other day, the little fruit. It is very sweet,
but not the same.
But it's not the same as the one you eat in Hawaii.
Anytime from a seed, you don't know what you're going to get.
True. Yeah, but anyway, so that's the Hawaiian.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And you're building a greenhouse inside the doors?
Yeah, we have a. Well, let me show you. This is like our packing area. Oh.
So this is your packing area, not a greenhouse, but a packing area.
It's a packing area, but right now we're using it as a planting area.
I got you.
We plant. We plant trees here in this area. So eventually this will be like a packing area.
Okay.
Eventually. But right now it's a planting area. And over here we have a couple of greenhouses where we propagate.
Okay, seedlings.
Yeah, this is a mist house, a mist house. This section here is a mist house. Okay, when you propagate from cuttings, you have to have the right mix of mist. Especially when you propagate from cuttings. But if your plants receive too much water, they will die too. So it's a challenge to run the mist house, and that's why we have 1, 2, 3, 4 different sections, and you can calibrate the amount of water and the timing for each section. But even with that, it's hard to figure out, okay, this is the right type of water or moisture for this type of plant. Even so, we have a lot of dead plants, unfortunately.
Yeah. That's how you learn, right?
It comes with the territory, though. That's how it is. So look, that's a banana. That's a very exotic passion fruit. It's called banana passion fruit.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's germinating now. The banana passion fruit. This is ruda, ruda. And this is the sweet granadillas.
Oh,
Most of them are germinating. That's incredible. Yeah, these are vanilla orchids. We didn't propagate those. They came from another nursery. And those are sugar apples. Sugar apples, and on the other side, look, that's coffee liners. That's coffee plant.
oh wow.
Yeah, but came from, we order liners and then we transplant them. And okay, so these are some of our grafted avocado trees. That's the Russell avocado, grafted from the big tree I showed you outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a group of grafted trees.
What kind of rootstock do you use?
The rootstock for the avocado, we use the Walden avocado.
Okay.
Yeah, Walden, which has a big, big seed. Yeah, the Walden avocado. All right. So these are our some of our mother trees. This is the breadfruit. Okay, this is breadfruit. And look, I'll show you something cool. You know which fruit this one is?
Yeah, guanabana.
Guanabana, yeah. Look, it's in a 25-gallon pot. I planted
wow.
that. Yeah, I planted that about 6 or 7 years ago. And look how many flowers it has. Look,
From a seedling?
Yeah, from the seedling. Yeah, sourshops are from seedlings. And look how many. And we've had some fruit already from the tree. If we had put this in a bigger pot, it would produce even more.
Oh wow!
But even then, it has. Look at how many flowers it's got. A lot of flowers. But that's because of the fertilizer it has. In this kind of plant, we use 2 types of fertilizer. We use the 839, which is considered like ready to use. The 839 will go immediately into the tree. The tree will absorb it right away. It's considered a 3-month fertilizer. But then you see these green pebbles? See these green pebbles?
Yeah.
This is the slow release fertilizer. This is a 6-month fertilizer. And so this pebble dissolves in about 6 months, and it releases the fertilizer to the plant slowly. Plants love that, especially plants this size.
Now, these are in a pot. Do you sell these trees? What do you do with them?
We don't sell these trees. Those are our mother trees. Yeah, we don't sell them. Yeah.
What do you use them for? Just the fruit?
In this one, the fruit, we can use the seeds to make more sourshops.
Yeah.
Look, I'll show you something cool. These are these are the atemoyas, right? Grafted. They are alive. If we do a scratch test, they are alive. But they're super tropical plants. So right now they lost all the leaves because of the 60 degrees massive cold weather we have here. So Look, this is the chocolate plant, the cacao trinitario. These seeds come from the great island of Puerto Rico.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the great island of Puerto Rico. We have a partnership with a farm over there, and they provide us a lot of seeds. And cacao is one of the seeds they provide.
Are those bigger cacao trees?
Those are bigger cacao trees. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, which could produce here. They are already blooming, but they haven't produced. But in any case, we get the seeds from.
Do you sell these or do you let them grow big?
No, we sell them. These are for sale. Yeah, these are in 1 gallon. They've been here for a while, so they will be moved to 3 gallons soon. Yeah.
And what are all these?
These are sugar apples.
Sugar apples.
Yeah, sugar apples. Yeah. And this is bilimbi.
Bilimbi?
The bilimbi. Yeah. So yeah, those are cacao. They are blooming. They have bloomed already, but but the tree dropped the flowers.
Got
Yeah, maybe it's just first year blooming.
Got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you some of the cool plants on the
nice.
on the shade house.
Nice. This is
You like
how
this?
you do it, everybody. Love this. Yeah.
Because they're taking a real inside look.
Yeah. Do you normally do you give tours, or nobody usually comes into these places?
No, nobody gets tours.
Well, thank you for opening up the place for the viewers and stuff to see how it's done.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul, for coming. And hey, Paul, you're a nice guy, so you get the exclusive
Very
inside
nice.
look.
This is exciting. So exciting.
Look, I'll show you something else. These are the miracle fruits. Have you heard of miracle fruits?
See, everybody that's watching, Noah doesn't know much about me. He just met me today. He doesn't see my channel. But yeah, I love miracle fruit. It's my favorite. Yes. I love it. Like, it's not my favorite, but it's up there. I have 5 in my house.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I just want to share this with your audience. Miracle fruit is propagated in 2 ways, by seeds and by cuttings. Okay, but unfortunately, when you propagate by cuttings, like 90%, at least for us, like 90% of the little plants don't make it. Maybe more, maybe 95% don't make it. Here we have some that have made it from cuttings. Let me see. Yeah, see, this one is from cuttings. Okay.
How can you tell?
I can tell because the trunk is already like thick.
Okay.
You know, and so this one is from cuttings, but it's struggling. Okay,
and a lot of these are from seed.
Yeah, a lot of them.
How long does it take once you get the seed and planted? How long before you get something like that?
Yeah, that takes. You know, this take. We planted them maybe 6 months ago, maybe 4 months ago. It's a super slow grower plant.
Yeah,
super slow.
And how long before something like this will have fruit?
You're looking at maybe 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah. So you know, so when we sell it, sometimes people say, "Well, why the price?" Because we have to wait.
Now I heard there's 2 varieties of miracle fruit. Is that true?
I don't really know I mean, I'm sure there are different varieties, but I'm not familiar with the 2 varieties.
Now, is it better to grow it, in your experience, in the pot or in the ground once people buy it at home?
Absolutely in the pot. You know, because of the pH. It has to have a certain pH. And I think it'll be too much work to try to plant it on the ground. It's just easier to grow it on the pot.
But once it's grown, it's better to leave it in the pot or put it in the ground?
Leave it in the pot. Leave it in the pot. Later on, I'm going to show you the ones that we have in the pot. They just produce massive amounts of fruit in the pot.
Okay.
Massive amounts of fruit in the pot. Yeah. So yeah, these are some of our miracle fruits that we have propagated ourselves. Yeah.
And you sell these on your website as well?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. They're for sale on the website. Yeah.
So give us an example. How much is a 3-gallon miracle fruit? Do you know offhand?
Yeah, no, I do know. A 1 gallon would be like maybe $29. The 1 gallon, about maybe this size.
Okay.
Okay. Then you move up to the 1 gallons are like up to 1 feet or 1.5. Or 1.5 foot, and then you go to the 3 gallons, which is between 2 to 3 feet tall, for maybe $59.95, something like that. And then you go to the bigger size, the 7 gallon, which is up to like 4 feet tall, bigger trunk, but more money.
Sure.
Yeah, sometimes that 1 in 7 gallons could go for $150.
Will they fruit at that point? Will they give fruit at that point?
A lot of times are fruiting. Yeah, a lot of times those are already fruiting. But a 7 gallon tree in a 7 gallon container is been here for 3-4 years. So it's been here for a while, and it's probably already producing fruit. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go to the shade house. Look, those are our miracle fruits in pots.
Oh wow!
If you zoom in, you'll see how heavy they are in in flowering.
You actually have this is how it looks when it's starting to fruit.
Correct.
But there's actually a fruit here.
Yeah,
that's a fruit.
Yeah,
there's a green one, but it turns red like this.
Yeah, no, but this will produce hundreds and hundreds of fruits. And I mean, you told me that you have also the tree planted where you live.
Yes.
You also get a lot of fruits from it.
I have it in the ground. I have it in the ground and in the pot.
How is it doing? How is it doing in the ground?
Amazing.
Really?
Amazing.
Wow.
I have it maybe 5-6 feet.
Yeah.
Loaded.
And planted on the ground.
Loaded. And the people think you get nematodes and they don't do good in the ground, but people are shocked when they come over and they see all the fruit.
Exactly, because we have tried to have it here on the ground, and we haven't really succeeded. But on the pot, you know.
Yeah. Well, how often do you water these? Because I don't see any water on them.
Yeah, we probably water them 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think the irrigation hits them. Well, maybe right now, maybe every day, maybe, or every other day. Yeah.
Very nice. I love it.
Yeah. Look, these are
more avocados.
Avocados. Hass. This is the Florida Hass, grafted.
How many varieties of avocados do you have here?
We have about 60 different varieties of avocados.
Wow.
And look, these are our lychees.
Lychee trees?
The famous dwarf emperor lychee.
Let me ask you, do you sell white sapote?
We do.
What varieties?
We do. We have the Redlands, and there's another one, I forgot the name, but Redlands is the one the most common one for us.
The most common one, okay. Yeah. What about black sapote?
We do have black sapote
also. What varieties do you have?
Several ones. We have like 10 varieties. The Matt Snow, the Wilson. Yeah,
have you tasted all of them?
I haven't, and we have trees here that produce, but I haven't been lucky. When I go to try the fruit, it's either somebody already ate the fruit, or it's too old, you know. So I haven't had any luck with the black sapote. Look, I wanted to show you. You've heard of mangosteen?
Yeah, mangosteen.
Yeah. Mangosteen. We have some here in 1 gallon.
Oh wow!
But now I'm beginning to understand why not a lot of people sell this tree. Because look, they've been here since August, and look how big they are.
They're not growing well. But even then, will they fruit in this environment?
I don't really know. It's an experiment we're doing.
Okay.
They should, though. I mean, right? But look how much it's grown in, what, 6 months?
Wow.
It'll be probably 2 years before we can sell these ones.
Yeah. Well, that's how we learn. We experiment.
Right.
Yeah. So, that's very cool.
Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah.
Got so many different things going on here. Which papaya is this?
That's a Hawaiian papaya. Look, this is the red rambutan.
Red rambutan. Wow. Yeah. How does that do here?
Yeah, you know, it's been a challenge to grow them. It's been very challenging because in December and January they were in the greenhouse and they were doing like very terrible. But then we realized that it's because the soil was holding too much moisture. And so we're getting a lot of the root rot. Then we got them outside, and then they seem to be doing better now. Because the weather is better, they get more sun.
Sure.
And so we're beginning to see new growth. So hopefully they'll...
Do you sell wholesale and retail, or just retail?
Mostly retail.
Okay.
Mostly retail, although we have a few wholesale customers. A few, yeah.
Is this your main shade house, or do you have other shade houses?
No, this is the main one.
Okay.
This is the main one.
Looks like you got a little bit of everything here.
Yes, we have some citrus here.
How does citrus do out here? Tricky, huh?
Yeah, but I mean, we maintain it in the shade house, in pots. It does well for us here. We don't propagate citrus because you have to have, it's regulated. So they come from a certified nursery. We bring them small, and we continue to grow them here.
How much of your business is walk-in traffic versus shipping in the mail?
If I tell you that, I'm afraid I won't let you leave the nursery.
Oh, it's the top secret information?
Nah, I'm kidding. Most of what we do is shipping.
Okay.
Most, yeah.
Okay.
I would say maybe like 90%.
But are you open for people to come by and
we
pick
are,
stuff
yeah,
up?
we are. Yes, we are.
So I'll be able to put your address and your phone
absolutely.
number below the video?
Sure, yeah,
okay.
sure. Yeah, sure.
And your website is really cool. Your web person is great. They do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's just that we started online, and so 90% of what we do is still online.
Yeah.
But we welcome walk-ins.
From the beginning, you were online?
Correct, yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes, from the beginning, yes. So look at some red lady papayas. More grafted mangoes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you enjoy what you're doing here?
Yes, I do. I grew up with plants. My mama had a small garden when I was growing up. Very small garden, but it was in the small garden that she taught me a lot of the things that continue to make a difference.
Well, we met your son. How many children do you have?
I have three. I have 3 boys.
3 boys. So
Yeah.
are they all interested in this?
Probably yes. Yeah, they all have told me that that one day we'll come and help you, and I said, oh, great, But
Good.
But follow your passion, though.
Yeah.
Follow your passion, though.
Yeah.
So yeah. So.
Beautiful.
So I never consider myself a plant person, but I am. Right?
Yeah.
I am. I mean, every day we walk around our plants and we make sure they're doing okay, and we make sure they're healthy, and we make sure to provide what they're asking, whether it is water or fertilizer or whatever it is. We would like to think that we are taking care of our plants all the time. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Tell everybody your website.
Yeah, our website is everglades.farm. Everglades.farm. That's our
Evergladesfarm.com or
website.
Everglades.farm?
Everglades.farm.
Oh, Everglades.farm.
Everglades.farm. That's our
Very
website.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this is an amazing 5-acre farm here. And with all those lychee trees, you said somebody else comes and picks them, right?
Yes. The longan trees.
The longans,
Yes.
I mean, yeah.
Somebody else. Yeah.
Well, that's great, man.
Yes, Paul.
Thank you for showing us around
Paul,
today.
thank you for the visit, Paul.
Yeah, this is great. Get
Come
to
back.
their website and check them out.
Yeah,
I'll be back in the summer when you got stuff in
Yes.
season.
Come back, Paul. In the summer, if you come back, there will be fruit,
Yeah.
so we can eat a lot of mangoes.
We'll eat mangoes. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
All righty. Is there anything else you want to say before we finish to the audience?
Yeah. No. Look, I thank you for watching. Really, I thank you for watching, and if you are lucky to grow any of these fruits, share the fruit. Okay, invite your friends when your tree is fruiting. So a lot of people are not aware of all the fruits that are available. And the flavors also, they have no clue. So share. Share.
Absolutely.
Yep. Mhm.
All right, everybody. Thank you, and thanks for being on.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, there it was. I just love what I do is to go and let people know that there are people out there doing this. And if you want a fruit tree, or if you just want to learn about different fruit, places like this is the way you want to go. I'm going to put their link below, Everglades Farm. Check it out. Check everything they have. And when you're searching for fruit trees or you're searching for fruit, do as much research as possible. And thankfully, there are places like Everglades Farm that are making these things available for you to grow. And I'm sure if you call them up, they'll be able to answer your questions as well, if not already on the internet, because they have a lot of good videos on the internet. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook, and their website, which I'll put below. Thank you again for showing us around. Until then, everybody, have a great day and keep growing.